And it just built up, man. It was one of these things that was like, you know, and really I started, again, playing, selling some CDs off the stage, at the gigs, wherever we could. And then I made another record. I was able to, it was just a way to like get to record more music. So
Sure.
I made my second record. And then in 98, put out, you know, when the band's playing, I put out, some members had changed in the band. And by this time I was like really, I felt like my songs were getting better. You know, I felt like my songs were really getting better.
At this point in time, what's the pie looking like as far as cover material and original material when you're performing?
I think it depended on like where we would go play.
Okay.
That has a lot to do. Like, I would always go out and play a bunch of my tunes, but then mixing in. If I were playing covers, I just played the cover music I wanted to play. Certain tunes that you know. Again, Prince, Jimi Hendrix. I was at that time. I mean, I'm a fan of all the old classic rock and blues too. You know, playing the blues is. I always dug playing blues. Like, blues is like has been a thing for me, man. Blues is, you know, I could relate with playing the blues because when I picked up the guitar, I mean, I'm playing what sounds natural, and it's blues.
Yeah.
You know, all the music that you know, whether it's, I mean, AC/DC is like a revved up blues band.
Yeah, I mean, blues got its
It's Led Zeppelin.
Blues is the roots for so many different genres of music.
I was able to, and then I really got into like, I was like, okay. Along with like, you would have never known it because here it was, I was like crafting these tunes. I say crafting tunes, but trying to push the boundaries of my abilities to go, I don't want to just write these comfortable, I didn't want to always fly in perfect weather.
Yeah,
I'm not that dude. I want to like push myself into where, you know, I want to make myself better in something. The only way to do that is to make yourself uncomfortable a little bit, and you have to. The only way you get better is to go into the unknown, and then you get known.
Did you find yourself doing that? I mean, not so much intentionally, but I was going to bring up the point that you were kind of taught that early on in high school.
Yeah.
So when it came to doing it now, let's say 95 on, or whenever you're speaking of, was it so much because that's the way you were taught, or was it more, did you view it as exploration or character building? Like, what was the point for you?
I felt like it was going to make, I felt like if I pushed myself into places where if I pushed myself into places that I wasn't so familiar with, it was going to spark something that would be fresh that I felt was going to carry me.
Okay.
Something that's fresh instead of just like playing something that felt so familiar that it's just going to be, I kind of didn't want to take the easy road. I don't know why. I just knew that if I pushed myself to explore the space, that it was going to be better for me. It would be better for me I would feel like I've accomplished something.
Sure, I get it.
You know?
Stagnation, I don't believe it to be rewarding or stimulating. You know what I mean?
So it's just kind of there.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people are tempted to remain in that comfort zone. Do you know what I mean? Because that's kind of a reward in itself, I guess, to feel comfortable and prolong this pleasant space that we're all in. You know? But, yeah, I mean, if you're not afraid to kind of step outside of yourself, it can be incredibly rewarding, you know.
Exactly, man.
Can you think of anything that came specifically out of that train of thought? I guess
for sure, man. My second record was like different in a lot of ways than my first record.
Yeah.
My first record was like a blues rock riff blues kind of rock, but also had song format, you know, kind of. I had one soul ballad tune, kind of bluesy kind of vibe on it. That, you know, that's kind of where my first record was, in this blues rock sounding place, and then pushing myself into another place to like try to get better songs and to try to push myself into like growing melodically, growing musically, just taking a chance.
Sure.
Take a chance, that a give no fuck chance. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I'm gonna go here because it's just music. It's only capturing this moment, you know? And so my second record turns into this record that has like some pop sensibilities about it that made me, that like, it still had rock, it still had like a blues thing, but also it was like, I made a great rock and roll sounding record, man. I believe my second record, I worked twice as long on my second record as I did on my first record. And then I put out this record and everyone's like, oh man, it's kind of not what we thought it was going to be. And I was like,
exactly.
Right. You know,
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, you know, it's the sophomore record that I was like, I didn't fucking make my second record to sound like my first record. It's
Woo! Super!